think the story of an uneven recovery in China continues to persist. And the question is to what extent fiscal action will take place to kind of provide a little bit more support for consumption. And at the moment, the narrative in China is, I think China is taking a relatively more cautious approach in terms of the size and the quantum of the stimulus. Even in the fiscal side, we're seeing more investment do the heavy lifting. I think there is a concern that if you provide a lot of consumption stimulus, maybe to that extent that the multiplier effect may be weak if households are still not confident in spending that stimulus. So China is kind of reverting back to some of the kind of the old way of doing stimulus, which is investment, in the hope that the revival of activity will provide some kind of spillover to jobs. But I have to admit, it is challenging. And I think that challenging playbook that we're seeing in China will not just be a China-centric issue. It's going to reverberate globally as well, as many other economies continue to struggle with the virus. Nonetheless, despite that uneven recovery, it is still a recovery nonetheless. So we're kind of hoping the lagged impact of improvements in the virus, developments in the vaccine. That's obviously a critical thing that the market is now watching. Now, obviously, we know even though we get a breakthrough on vaccine, a rollout of that and how that's going to be effective, there's no vaccine that's 100% effective at this point. Plus, we don't even know what the take-up rate and the global rollout. That obviously creates a lot of uncertainty. But perhaps in China, the level of compliance may still be something that can help alleviate some of the domestic economic drags that are coming out from the uncertainty from the pandemic. But as you mentioned, I think on the external side, that is certainly a concern. We are still worried about the impact of the US-China tension, the latest round that's impacting the technology space, especially as it relates to Huawei. That does provide a little bit of uncertainty on the pace of the 5G rollout in China, the new economy rollout, and to what extent that can create new growth opportunities, which should eventually translate to jobs. And there's a risk that that rollout could be slower and the productivity and potential growth in China could diminish if we continue